All right, let's talk about Saddiq Bey better without Jerami Grant. Let's talk about it. Hit the thumbs up button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon button. You got the business question, inquiry, sponsorship, and video request. Okay, so right now, the last three games, Jerami Grant has caught fire. So I think the last game that Grant played in was the Pelican game. So the next game was the first game. I remember that game because my power was out. And I watched it from somebody else's crib on the computer. So Saddiq Bey actually had in that game, he was 2 for 9, 0 for 5, 4 points. So that was one of the better performances, right? But that's the first game without Grant. And he been terrible all season, right? Like I said, if the price is right, I trade any of these dudes. And then his second game was the Pacers because the Bulls game was postponed, right? It was the Pacers, and he was 9 for 17, 3 for 8 from 3. So he's overall 50%, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. So he started to wake up there, right? Then they played who? They played the Rockets and they lost the game. But he was versus the Rockets, he was 9 for 16. That's 50%, 3 for 7 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 23 points, 3 assists, 4 steals. 4 rebounds, a steal in the block, and he had 0 turnovers for 3 for personal fouls. So that's 2 games in a row that he rolled. And so you go to the third game in a row that he rolling was the win last night, breaking the 14-game loser streak to the Miami Heat, right? And he he had 26.7 for 13, over 50%, shot 50% from 3, 3 for 6, 9 for 10 for the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 personal foul, no turnovers again, and 26 points. So he's not really a real, guy that's gonna handle the ball. He can handle the ball from what we've seen in college. He can really handle the ball, right? Um, but what we seen from him in this stretch, I think he's starting to wake up. Like I said in my video earlier, uh, old boy starting to wake up. Damian Lillard. So a lot of people didn't shoot the ball well this season. Steph Curry was one of the few guys that shot the ball really well this season, but then he went through a slump. I think that was because he was about to break that record. But right now, it just seems that Bay played better than Grant. And like I said, Grant is a four in this league, and that's kind of where the forward position going. Jay got on here and started, thinking that like I used to think that some of these positions are what it used to be with Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan being at the four. Even though he would have 5, but he flexed to the 4 because of David Robinson, Chris Webber and Juwan Howard and guys in the Davis brothers and whoever played the 4. But it's not like that no more. It's not like that no more, man. And Mason whining. He getting his gift wrapped. He can't see his doggy gift. But But yeah, right now he seems to be playing better, and I think like I said, Grant is the forward, the new. How can I say this? Small forward is the new power forward. Tobias Harris. You got a couple of true forwards around the league, but Aaron Gordon. What's my man to play up there in Denver from Orlando? Is Aaron Gordon. He really like a four, a 3-ish, but so yeah, he kind of really like some of these 4s are really like 3s now today. People say Anthony Davis is a 4. Anthony Davis is a fake 4. He's a 5, bro. I don't care what nobody say. He just put DeAndre Jordan out there to start the game with Dwight to make him a 4, but he's a 5. And he just refuses to embrace it. And that's why he out there shooting 3s trying to be a stretch 4 like Dirk, but you're not. But it ain't a whole bunch of true 4s walking around. I think when Jonathan Isaac healthy, he kind of played a 4. And he was like a 3, back in the day. So the days of like Sean Kemp and guys like that, man, it's pretty much you got a few guys around the league like Sabonis and Miles Turner, whoever the 4, whoever the 5. You got a few guys around the league, but more so they trying to stretch the floors to Kuzma's, to Tobias Harris's, and guys of that nature, man. I don't even know who played the 4 in Dallas. So they really trying to stretch the floor, and that's what they trying to do. And right now, of course, Bay played better without Jerami Grant because what happens with Grant is, he's a true not coming to Detroit. He's a true scorer. So he's the primary scorer in Detroit, and that's kind of what Cade is kind of trying to become. But right now, Grant is they go-to guy, and when he got the ball, he ain't looking to dish it. And that's the next evolution. If he gonna be one of the top one or two the scoring contributors on the team, he gonna have to learn to dish it. And that's the honest truth. He gonna have to learn to drive and look to kick. When he drive, he look to put the ball up. When he drive, he look to score. And teams know that, so that's why they just collapse the paint, knowing that the ball is not gonna come out. It's not gonna come out his hand, other than going to the bucket. So when he drive, he look for Saddiq Bey in the corner. Bey will be in a better rhythm. But when Jerami Grant look to get his bucket, he don't look to pass. He don't look to make nobody better. And that's a huge problem. And that's one of the reasons that, hold on. That's one of the reasons that Bey. That's one of the reasons that Bey ain't effective with Grant is on the floor, because he a spot up guy who don't get the spot up. Because think about it, when Killian on most nights when Grant out there get the ball, he's just the guy that's looking to spot up and shoot. Some teams saying, you know what, I'm gonna stay on Bey, but I know he ain't gonna shoot. I'm gonna let the rest of these jokers shoot the ball. It ain't like when Grant collapsed the plane, looked to score, he kick it to Bey. They just don't. They probably got good rapport off the court. They probably really cool. But right now, that's really not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work. And I guess when you look at the Pistons, man, they might have to go out there and possibly move Stewart to the four. But the thing about Stewart, what you crying for? The thing about Stewart is he not a four. You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue right there. And people say, well, you could put Olynyk at the four. Well, you could. So if you trade Jerami Grant, and I don't know what you're gonna get back for Jerami Grant, you trade Jerami Grant, you're probably looking at a situation where when Olynyk get back, Olynyk probably gonna play the four, Stewart gonna stay at the five, and that's gonna allow Bey to be more of a vocal point. So if you look at the scoring, if you're looking at the scoring, hierarchy of scoring, let's say they still throw Cade, let's say they still throw Killian Bey out there, and they still throw out whoever, let's say they do with that. Let's say they go Cade, Killian, Bey at the three, Olynyk at the four, Stewart at the five, or something like that, right? And I know it's positionless, but think about it for a minute. That means that Bey is probably gonna be the second or third vocal point, and I'll probably say second vocal point. Olynyk can get the ball too, and he can score. So, that's probably gonna get him in a rhythm earlier. So that's probably gonna get him in a better rhythm, and that's the honest truth. So that's probably gonna get him in a great rhythm. So, like I said, it ain't Jerami Grant. His next evolution is not efficiency, even though he can be a little bit more efficient scoring. The next evolution, as far as being a Piston, is making the right play. It's not just driving and going to the bucket. It's driving and looking to score. It's driving and looking to dish a little bit more. If he did that, he'd be a more effective scorer. He'd be unguardable. And also, if he put his back to the basket a little bit, but with Bey, he can do some things that Grant can do. But he got more of a 3-2 guard type high, 6'7". He more of a three body, But I think he can post. I think you can post him up more. I think him being more of a vocal point is going to be interesting. Obviously, they probably in the draft going to bring in another scorer. They probably going to bring in another scorer in the draft. So, like I said, like I said before, it's just to the point where Bey just needed more opportunities to get in the rhythm. Or he's a guy, if he can catch fire early, he can be hot for the whole game. So, like I said before, it's interesting. And people say, well, people trying to trade him. Man, I was one of the people that was trying to trade him. Shit, how bad he was playing. But like I said, in my other video, nobody's off limits. Nobody's off limits, bro. Anybody can get traded. Anybody can get traded. No, gotta remember that anybody can get traded. So something that we gotta think about. But I don't know, he crying. He crying for some reason. He go kiss. Okay. He tried to return it. But yeah, I think he do play better with Grant for the reasons that I spoke on. Grant need to learn to dish. He need to learn to dish the ball. If he learn to dish the ball, It probably can work with them too, but it's all about Grant not just looking to score. He kind of fell in love with scoring. His defense kind of dropped off a little bit. But yeah, that's the next evolution. That's the next evolution for them guys, man. For that guy. But when if he go to a contender like LA, Portland, it could be a 3-team trade straight up. Atlanta, maybe the Knicks should be interested in him or whatever. He's going to go back to what he was. And that's the guy they're going to be asked to defend first, spot up and shoot, and then, some of the primary scorers down the floor getting foul trouble, score next. That's what they're going to ask him to do. So leaving Detroit may be bittersweet for him, but he showed the ability to be one of those guys. If Brian or Anthony Davis and Lillard not on the floor, McCollum not on the floor, hopefully he get better with his punctured lung, I think it was. Hopefully, he'll be able to show that he can carry the load a little bit. But in Detroit, he was able to showcase that he can score 20 points a game. But if he's traded to somebody that's asked him to go out there and score 20, the evolution for him is dishing the rock. That's the evolution for him is dishing the rock. Learning and learning when the play collapse and they all in the lane and not shooting everybody, just kick it out for the easy shot or the hockey assist. But yeah. But I think it can work. Uh, but he hasn't. It's all about Grant making the adjustment as a passer, kind of mixing passing and scoring. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, all our social media links in the description. Twitter's the fastest way to Facebook and Instagram. If there's a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, all my social media links there. Or you just want to support, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All right. I'm going to make a financial donation, Cash App, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Appreciate the love support. Check Detroit Business Talk playlist out. Peace.